It's time now for some real education. We've been studying Rembrandt all week, which is a joy, I must tell you, to be able to get away from some of these crazy stories and look at some art and some culture. It just salves my soul. And Rembrandt, of course, has a number of paintings, about 60 of them, that are based on biblical imagery. And a lot of those come from the Old Testament. He lived in the Jewish quarter for a long time in Amsterdam, and as such, he became friendly with many of the Jewish community of Amsterdam. And so he was very interested in Old Testament themes. And so to honor our Jewish friends and to honor Hanukkah, we decided we would look at some of these Old Testament paintings. And today is probably the most famous painting, that one of them at least, that Rembrandt ever painted. And this is one of the most praised and admired pictures of any painter in the history of art. Some go so far to say it is the greatest painting ever painted. It is Rembrandt, and it is the Prodigal Son, that wonderful story. Now, that story comes from the New Testament, but it does have a lot of Old Testament resonances, which is why I wanted to bring it in here. It reminds me very much of a lot of his imagery in these Old Testament paintings. You have the story of the prodigal son. You have the beautiful tenderness of the young son, the one who has been the wastrel, who has spent up his family's money, the inheritance that would have come to him when the father died. And he spent it on loose women and riotous living. And now he's come back, not brazenly, not demanding more, but coming back to simply be one of the hired servants on his father's estate, because they eat better than he is now that he is broke. And you can see how broken down he is. The clothes that he wears are torn and tattered. One of the most famous aspects of this image is those two bare feet. That one bare foot on the left that is exposed. He's shoeless, heelless. The downtrodden way that he has shaved his head in repentance for what he has done. And the loving way that the Father brings him back. This is the Father who takes him back. And notice that the right hand of the Father is much thinner and more feminine. The left hand is much larger and masculine. The implication seems to be that Rembrandt, the embrace of the Father, is both masculine and feminine. It's a family kind of a thing, bringing him back into the fold this way. And then to the right, of course, you have standing the older brother who did not rebel, with his arms crossed in disapproval, while perhaps the mother and maybe a family friend or a tax collector behind them. So this is a really complicated image. And when we think about when Jesus, who was Jewish, was giving these parables to his people in Judea, it's amazing how much the importance of the New Testament. I always tell my kids at school, Jesus was not walking around Judea with a copy of the New Testament in his pocket. His frame of reference was the Old Testament, and possibly moving forward.